We usually picture AI as this one giant brain, right? But what if the secret sauce is actually getting it to work with itself? That's what we're digging into today, a really smart technique called reflection, which is basically how AI learned to proofread its own homework.
It all boils down to this really simple but kind of game-changing question. What if an AI could write something and then immediately turn around and check its own work for mistakes? I mean, that one idea alone could totally change how much we trust what AI gives us.
So let's think about a large language model. Picture it as this super brilliant, insanely fast writer. It can turn out pages of text or even code in like seconds. But here's the catch. Just like any human's first draft, it's usually, well, a bit messy. You might get factual errors, weird logic, or just clunky sentences. It's brilliant for sure, but perfect? Almost never on the first try. Okay, so how do you fix that mess? Simple. You give the AI an editor. And that's the whole idea behind this technique called reflection. It's basically a way to give that super fast, kind of sloppy AI writer its very own built-in editor to go over everything, critique it, and polish it up. So here's the nitty-gritty of how it works. Reflection is really a two-step dance. First, you have an AI called the generator. Its job is just to create the first draft. Then a second AI, the critic, comes in, and its only job is to look at that draft, check it against a bunch of quality rules, and then give really clear feedback on how to make it better. This whole setup should sound pretty familiar, right? You've got the writer AI, the creative one, and then you have the editor AI, the one that's super detail-oriented. One comes up with the ideas, the other polishes them until they shine. It's that classic partnership, just, completely automated. And here's the really cool part. This isn't a one-shot deal. The real magic of reflection is in the feedback loop. The writer AI hands in its draft, the editor AI marks it up with suggestions, and then the writer AI actually revises it and hands it back in. This back and forth can happen over and over until the final product is basically perfect and ticks all the boxes. Let's break that loop down into 4 simple steps. Step 1, generate. The writer AI creates the stuff. Step 2, critique. The editor AI checks it. Step 3 is feedback. And this is crucial. The editor doesn't just say this is wrong, it provides specific notes on why it's wrong. And finally, step 4, revise. The writer AI takes that feedback and makes the draft better. And that loop just keeps spinning until the work is good to go. So, you might be wondering, what is this editor AI actually looking for? We're talking way, way beyond a simple spell check here. It can check if the writing follows a really specific quality guide, or if it's code, it can actually run tests to see if the code works. It's also looking for big picture things like flaws in logic. Seriously, it's like having the most meticulous editor on the planet. Okay, that's the how, but what about the why? I mean, where is this actually useful? Why would you go through all this trouble? Let's dive into some of the real-world situations where this AI writer-editor team really shines. Well, it's a total game changer in any field where you just can't afford to be wrong. Think about it. Generating really high-quality content for a website, drafting a legal document where every word matters, or writing a product description that has to be 100% accurate. Basically, any job that needs complex, careful thinking is a perfect fit for this. And this really gets to the core of it. Language models, by their very nature, are a little bit wild, a little chaotic and creative. There's this great quote that says, "This technique is for tasks where chaotic language model features are used, but a predictable result is needed." And that's it, right there. Reflection is the tool you use to tame that creative chaos and get a reliable, predictable result every single time. But it can't all be sunshine and roses. Like with any cool new tech, there are trade-offs. Getting this kind of perfection isn't free. There are some pretty big downsides to think about before you jump in and start using the reflection technique. Okay, so what are the catches? Well, there are 2 big ones. First, it costs more money. Simple as that. Every single one of those back and forth steps, generate, critique, revise, is another call to the AI model, and those calls add up. Second, if you're doing this a lot, you can actually hit your usage limits. It's called API throttling, and it can slow your whole process down to a crawl, or even stop it completely. So what's the big takeaway here? At the end of the day, reflection is like a built-in quality control system for AI. It makes what the AI produces so much more reliable, so much more trustworthy, because it's literally giving the AI the power to check and fix its own work. And that leaves us with a pretty cool question to think about, right? As we start demanding more and more accuracy from our AI tools, is this kind of self-correction just going to become standard? I mean, could we see a future where every AI just comes with its own little critic built right in? It's a powerful thought.